Welcome back to your school's launch of World Vision's Ignite. John Michael Hinton hanging out with you guys again. If you were to ask one of my friends, they would tell you that I'm obsessed with Rubik's Cubes. I'm not sure what it is about this thing, if it's the puzzle of it, if it's solving it, putting it in different patterns, but I just love these things. Do you know the easiest way to solve a Rubik's Cube though? Some people think it's you take off the stickers. Some people think you have to take it apart. One person told me you just throw it away. Solved. But no, actually the easiest way to solve a Rubik's Cube is to go back in time. Seriously, think about it. If you could go back in time to where you take it out of the box, it would be solved. You're having a hard time visualizing this. Let me help you out. If this is a big clock right here, there'd be 12 at the top, right? So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All you'd have to do is to go back around the clock. And see, it solves. I love the idea of time travel. I've been obsessed with it ever since I saw the movie Back to the Future. And I think it has everything to do with what we're talking about today. What is your vision for your generation? Did you make the connection? My brain's kind of crazy. Track with me here. You see, I think the reason we are obsessed with time travel is the idea that A, you could go back and experience an amazing moment of time, or B, the idea that you could go back and change something that happened in the past. What is it if you could travel back in time that you would love to experience? Or rather, what is something that you would like to go back and fix? For me, I would love to go back to the beginning of America and make it so that no person ever could enslave another person. Think about what that would change today, right? But unfortunately, we can't go back in time. We can't change the past. The only thing we can change is the here and now and the future. So here's my challenge to you. What is it in the future when you have children and their children and their children's children, when they look back to your generation, what are they gonna say defines you guys? What are they gonna say defines you guys and the things that you changed, the things that you messed up? What are they gonna wish that they could travel back and experience versus the things they could travel back and fix? And what are the things that you can fix right here, right now? The thing I love about your generation is that more than ever, students believe that they can actually make a difference. Think about it. With a social media post, you can affect how people purchase different items, how people vote. You guys have amazing power in this digital age to make a difference. So what are you going to do? What is your vision for your generation?
Thank you, John Michael. Isn't he great? Hi again. Today we're going to talk about something you're intimately familiar with, your generation. Okay, and I'll admit it, I am not in it, but I'll introduce you to someone who is, and who has a message for you about what's possible with World Vision Ignite at your school. You know, it can be tough to be young, especially if you're smart and motivated like I believe you are. When I was growing up, my generation had stereotypes from older generations, just like you might be hearing from your parents or older folks in your life. For me, it was the beginning of MTV. You know, that cable channel that used to play music videos? Well, people thought we were going to be lost in a world of TV and music, and that would cost us our brains and our morals. And boy, in the 80s, we sure encountered a lot of values that might just not align with what Jesus was all about. But for you, in your generation, you're living in a time of war. There has never been a time that America has not been at war. And you're living in a time of uncertainty with global health, the economy, education, job prospects. Okay, but let's not sit in that space for long. What else is your generation known for? Your idealism? A belief that all should be treated equal. What would you say? What is your vision for your generation? What is God doing in your generation? I love our scripture reading for today. It's the kind of encouragement that we need, relief that only comes from God. The Spirit of the Sovereign Lord is on me, because the Lord has anointed me to proclaim good news to the poor. That's Isaiah 61:1. You know, someone who I believe exhibits good news to the poor and vulnerable, it's a student just like you. And I'm going to introduce you to her. Her name is Haley. I traveled with her and her classmates to Kenya with another Ignite partner school. Let's hear what Haley has to say about her generation and how you can use Ignite to act.
Previously, I had looked up Generation Z traits and characteristics, and just as I had figured, all definitions of my generation somehow revolved around technology. And they are right. My generation has never known life without access to the internet. We can be criticized for our dependence on our phone, our obsession with how we present ourselves online, and our addiction through connecting through social media rather than in person. Some say that life is easier for us because, if you think about it, we can find virtually anything in a matter of seconds. On the one hand, social media can be a positive space for uplifting, funny, and inspiring stories and ideas. But on the other hand, it can be constantly focused on the negative in the world. But what we don't address is how that exposure affects us. For a generation handed an infinite amount of knowledge, it can be very confusing. Climate change, an increasingly polarized United States, videos and pictures that go viral of different forms of social injustice. I can log onto my phone right now and find videos of the Rwandan genocide, children dying from lack of access to clean water, refugees displaced from their homes, aftermaths of natural disasters, and the list goes on and on. If you're like me, the exposure to every tragedy, scandal, and injustice at a young age starts to take a toll as you grow up. It makes you question, why them and not you? It leaves you confused without a clear call to action, and it makes you feel guilty that you're just watching and continuing on with your day without doing anything. But the thing about my generation is that we are confident that we are the ones to fix it all. We are the dreamers, but we are also the doers. We are the ones with such passion and knowledge built up inside, but we often have a difficult time trying to find a place to act upon our feelings. When a young person is given an outlet, the possibilities are endless. World Vision's Ignite partnership was an outlet for me. When my principal introduced me to World Vision, I had no idea that this would be the start of me changing into a completely different individual. I was given an opportunity to live out my faith through action, so I ran with it. The partnership began my senior year of high school, and it was more than just impactful for my school. It was transformative. The Ignite partnership brought together every club, every team, and every family for one common good. No matter if you were singing songs in Swahili in choir class, or you were the soccer team fundraising for soccer balls for our kids in Kenya, you were using your individual talents for our community. It opened up doors for law and justice students, giving them an avenue to see what the justice system looks like in Kenya. It inspired STEM students, provided multiple service opportunities, and gave students the ability to do work that they found purpose and meaning in. Ignite brought students from all different interests under a shared eagerness to tackle the issues they're exposed to by the media every day. Last year, I watched students and families from all walks of life unite together as a community to walk 6 kilometers for clean water. This partnership not only dug up that passion that we all have, but it made the ability to promote positive change accessible to anyone. The name Ignite is so fitting because World Vision's partnership sparked this flame of servitude for God, and it spread like wildfire through myself, my friends, my family, and now the community. Proverbs 22:6 says, "Start children off on the way they should go, and even when they are old, they will not turn from it." The Ignite partnership truly changed my life. It flipped my perspective of the world. It forced me to reevaluate myself. It strengthened my faith in God, and it gave me a bigger purpose. I know that my responsibility is to spread the light of Jesus while loving all of my neighbors, whether they're right next to me or thousands of miles away. This partnership proves to students like myself that you don't have to wait for your turn to change the world. Rather, you can start making a tangible impact today.
I'm inspired, and I hope you are too. You know, you can define what your generation is all about. In spite of living through some tough stuff, your generation can emerge boldly and with a vision that can help guide our country and our world. Please be prayerful today about your hopes for your generation, as you have so much potential and so many possibilities ahead of you.